Oh, Will, man, it's an honor to have you on Sports Talk 1996 with me, Zach Barnett. And let's get it rolling with the easy one. With NASCAR, how did it all happen for you? How did it all come about for you to become a champion?
I was just in the right place at the right time, to be honest with you. It's kind of a long story, but I'll shorten it as much as I can. I went to a NASCAR race. It was actually qualifying night in Charlotte. I with some guys I worked with. I worked for a construction company at the time. And I saw the race though. They doing qualifying and everything. They had an ARCA race. I was like, man, this is cool. I'm going to do this. And one guy sitting next to me, his name was Steve Allen. He said, man, look around you. And I looked around me. The only people I saw that looked like me had event staff on their shirt. I'm like, I don't care, because sometimes it's not what you know, it's what you don't know that helps you. But all the NASCAR teams are based in Charlotte. So I just went and knocked on all the doors. I put together a whole program, knocked on doors, because I initially wanted to drive. But obviously I was too old to start trying to drive. I was like 30 years old. And that definitely wasn't going to work. But I just had to be in the right place at the right time. GM of a team came by. We had a meeting. He said, hey, you two will be trying to drive, but actually, could I just hang out in the shop? Because I still like NASCAR and the intricacies of it, the nerdiness things of it. And he said, just, stay out of people's way. So I did. I started watching their pit practices, and I loved their pit practices. And I said, I want to be a jack man. So I went home and I cleared out my apartment, and I taped off a pit box. Do you know what a pit box is? I know
little bit of knowledge of it.
But when cars go do the pit stops, change the tires and all that stuff, the box that the driver stops in, that's a pit box. Definitely. Every team has like their own pit box. So that's where we had like the little sign that tells them where their box is. They know where to pull in. So I marked off a pit box in my living room, and I built a pit wall on my wall in my living room. And at the time, our jacks were 35 pounds. 35 pounds. I bought a 45-pound weight, and I would practice what I saw the guys doing, like jumping off the wall and all that stuff in my living room during the daytime while people at work. So I own a construction company, so I had time. And then after the guys had finished practice, I'd take one of the jacks. I practiced jacking the truck up, dropping it down, run around the other side, jacking the truck up. I did that by myself for like 9 months, and nobody knew. So the next year, they started practice for Daytona, started our pit practice and stuff for the season, and our first race at Daytona. And our jackman had tweaked his back, and they were going to cancel pit practice. So as the crew chief, I said, hey, let me just have one shot. Let me try this one time. They're like, man, Will, you're going to hurt yourself, blah, 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 blah. So I had to sign all these waivers. And when I signed the waiver, then let me go practice. Then let me try to practice. So I tried to pit stop, and I want to say I was maybe like 0.3 of a second slower than their regular stop. Now, they expected me to be horrible, because why wouldn't they? So it's like, wait, what just happened here? So we lined it up again, and we kept doing it. By the time we finished, our last 2 stops were 2 of the fastest stops they'd had in practice in the last 2 seasons. And that's how I got signed with the team. And subsequently, a couple of years later, we won a championship.